Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's 2 weeks before my trip to Tokyo Disney Resort. I'm so excited. I am over the moon. As the old Disneyland commercial, or was it a Disney World commercial? Anyways, it was a Disney park commercial, and it was a little kid that would be like, I'm too excited to sleep.
Okay, guys, back to bed.
We're too excited to sleep.
I am 100% too excited to sleep. I wanted to do a check-in with you and talk to you about what I'm doing at the 2 week before my trip marker. I thought it might be interesting. I thought you guys might be interested to know kind of how I break up my preparation for a Disney park trip. So let's jump into it. So I am exactly 2 weeks from today before I get on a plane to Tokyo. So what are my 2 week prep suggestions? Things that I do? Habits? There we go. Habits is a good word. Okay. Number one, I actually started last week, but I definitely think if I hadn't started last week, I would absolutely be starting today my step training. What do I mean by that? Whenever I go to a Disney park, I tend to, on average, take about 20,000 steps. That's what this thing tells me. So, in order to prepare for that, I like to start monitoring my step count minimum 2 weeks before that. Like I said, I started last week, but minimum 2 weeks before that, I start monitoring my step count to get at least 10,000 steps a day. Because obviously when you're at a Disney park, you're spending all day walking. You're not doing anything else, right? You're not doing your normal work or your normal chores or your normal day-to-day stuff. So I'm not saying that I get in 20,000 steps a day leading up to my trip, but I do absolutely try to make sure that I'm hitting at least 10,000. That is a really good number, I feel like, to get me in the rhythm of walking that much. If I don't, it can lead to problems. I will tell you that the first time I went to Disney World by myself, I was 21. So this was over 20 years ago. And I came back and absolutely I had wrecked my knee on that trip. It hurt so bad. I couldn't walk. I had to take some time off from work when I got back. It was a wreck. So that's that's like a core memory for me. And so I don't ever want to do that again. I never want to be in the position where I hurt myself from vacation. And I shouldn't. I can just do what I'm doing, which is preparing. So, number one, I get my steps in. I monitor my steps in anticipation of how many steps I'm going to take on vacation. Number two is the 2 week deadline of doing any purchasing that I need to do for my trip. And what do I mean by that? I mean anything that I'm going to buy to take with me on my trip. I like to use the 2 week marker as the deadline to be finished. Because again, here's another core memory I have from a trip, and I don't remember which one it was, and I don't remember even what it was, but there was, I think it was one of my like skincare products. I waited just assuming I could go pick it up at Target, and they were out of it. And so I wasn't able to take it on my trip with me. Wasn't, a disaster, but it was something that stuck with me where I was like, I really shouldn't leave things to the last minute. I really shouldn't assume. And especially now in the kind of supply chain issues world that we live in now, I don't want to wait and maybe miss out on something. So today I went to Target, I went to Ulta, I purchased everything that I was running out of, knew I wanted to take on the trip with me, and I just feel good about it. Like, it's done. I've got 2 weeks left, but I know that all those things have been purchased. The second point to the purchasing thing is don't be like me, but I have a very strange habit of buying new clothes for trips. It's just me. It's just a thing that I do. I can fight it or not. I can just accept it. But again, that's a 2-week deadline, especially for shoes. I'm going to do a separate video, but because of the weather that's going to be going on in Tokyo, I wanted waterproof shoes. If you guys watched my hurricane season video, that was about water-friendly shoes that are great for warm, rainy weather. Because in those shoes, your feet will get wet. They are not waterproof. They're just water-friendly. So for this trip, I wanted waterproof shoes since it will not be hot or warm. You know, it'll be very nice. The weather's going to be very nice, like in the low 70s, you know, not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light sweater. But I wanted waterproof shoes in case that it rained. I don't want my feet getting wet in that kind of weather. So, like I said, don't be like me. But if you are like me, there's nothing wrong with it. But definitely start breaking in those new items at least 2 weeks in advance. So be done purchasing 2 weeks in advance so that you have 2 weeks to make sure things fit, to, you know, walk around, to just get used to those items. Which I should say, going back to number 1, if you do buy new shoes, or if you don't buy new shoes, actually, I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're going to do your step training like I do it in the shoes you're going to wear at the parks. Absolutely do your step training in the shoes that you're going to wear to the parks, because 10,000 steps in your, you know, gym sneakers are very different than, you know, the cute boots or sandals that you're going to throw in your bag and not think about. It can make a real big difference. I see people all the time in the parks in shoes, and I can tell by the end of the day that they're not feeling great. So a great way to fix that is to literally do your 10,000 steps in the shoes that you're going to pack. So if you're going to buy new shoes, buy them at least 2 weeks in advance, and then start doing your step training in those new shoes. This was a really quick check-in. I just wanted to tell you that I'm 2 weeks out. I'm so excited, and what I'm doing 2 weeks before my trip. So thanks so much for joining me. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And see you all soon.